Boomchanka! How's it going, everyone? It's the Flying Pig here. Hope you're having a good Saturday. How are we all doing today? Just wanted to jump on here. Got a little bit of time to talk about the David De Gea situation at Manchester United. Obviously, he's only got 1 year left on his contract. He's been with United for 8 years. 8 years, of which most of those 8 years, he was the player of the season. He's that much of an important player for us. Yes, he's had a bit of a melt job this last few weeks or this last month. But let's not forget that, realistically, he's one of the best goalkeepers, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. And he's got 1 year remaining on his contract. What does that mean? Is he gonna leave for Passage New in a year, and we just allow him to leave on a free transfer, and we don't get any money for him? Do we allow him to go to Spain, maybe Barca, one of the big clubs, whatever, around Europe, and cash in now? But the fact of the matter is, if you do that, you are losing one of the best players that United have had over the last 8 years. Probably, let's be honest now, the best player in terms of contribution to the side, in terms of commitment to the side, in terms of performance for the side. He's miles above everybody else. So we cannot just discredit him because he's had a ropey couple of weeks. Everybody's had a ropey couple of weeks. Maybe he's just sick of the situation at United. You know, he was hoping for greener pastures, or in the sense that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, got us performing again, and then he was hoping we were on the ascendancy again, maybe get Champions League football, whatever. We haven't done that. The team has melted literally in front of him. He's also melted himself at the back there uncharacteristically. But maybe it has just come to an end for David De Gea mentally at Manchester United. Is he prepared for the long slog that it is to get Manchester United to where they should be, which is challenging again for the league title every single year, which is challenging in Europe? It's quite a gap that we've built up here with City and Liverpool and ourselves. Obviously, with a big transfer window, who knows how much we could close that by. But is David De Gea prepared to stay here and wait? The fact of the matter is, he could go to a top club, win trophies, win accolades, do all that sort of stuff, make a huge amount of money. I mean, Potato Head Ed Woodward upstairs is not prepared to meet David De Gea's contract demands. This contract talk's ongoing at the moment with the club. I think if we were prepared to pay him, then he would stay at Manchester United because he does love United. He's been in for 8 years. There's been opportunities in the past where he could have gone elsewhere and still made good money, but he's decided to stay at the club. And I just like David De Gea. He seems like a good man, and he is a great goalkeeper. Okay, he has his errors here and there. Everybody does, but it's not like he's going to turn into Joe Hart or anything overnight, is it? You know, he is a quality player. He's had a ropey couple of weeks or a month or so, the end of the season there, as have the rest of the team basically. But for me, United should try and do everything we can in our power to keep hold of him. We were paying, or hopefully we were paying, but we still are paying Alexis Sánchez in excess of 400,000 a week. Rumours are 450, 500, something like that, you know, with bonuses and stuff. So really, is it justified to pay David De Gea anywhere near 400,000 a week? Obviously, you don't want to do that. United should be capping our wage bill now. We should only be signing players that, you know, on no more than a couple of 100,000 a week, even if they are marquee big name signings. We shouldn't be going out there paying anybody 400,000 a week. It's not really worked for us these last few years, paying huge wages to players and, you know, bringing players in like Alexis Sánchez on a free, but paying him a huge signing on bonus and huge wages, getting sucked out of the club. I mean, it's not a good look. We don't want to be paying those sorts of wages, but at the same time, he's such a game changer. He's such a match winner for United. He's been our best player for the last 5-6 seasons in a row. Surely you should be rewarding that sort of performances out there and rewarding a player who's barely put a foot wrong and who has bled United for the last 7 or 8 years. So to me, he is a United player. It would be a huge shame to lose him. Who do you get to replace David De Gea? There are good goalkeepers around Europe. There are good goalkeepers in the world. But to me, he's the best goalkeeper in the world. Regardless of a bit of a dip in form, he's still the best goalie in the world. And that means that you're going to have somebody in that one position, which is a specialised position. Every team only has one that can play on the pitch at any one time. So it's a specialised position. And he is a game changer and a match winner. He will pick you up more points than basically anybody else across the course of a season. So you'd be foolish not to try your best to keep hold of David De Gea. So this is just a video to say, Ed Woodward, what would you do? You'd probably let him go on a free next summer, like you have done with Ander Herrera this year. I think our contract talks is atrocious. We've got Rashford running out soon in a year as well. What's going to be going on? I mean, come on. Who is doing this stuff behind the scenes at United? seriously, we need some improvement in the backroom staff. You know, the upstairs department, definitely, because United are lacking there more than anywhere at the moment, I think. So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money to be paying a goalkeeper, isn't it? £400,000 a week. But like I say, if it's going to pick you up more points than anybody else, going out there, signing Cristiano Ronaldo, whatever, paying him 500k a week, and he's banging in the goals for you, and you're picking up points that way. Yeah, but the goalkeeper is just as important, and especially if he is in a different class of his own, like he is. People may mock. There may be some neutrals here who have only seen the calamities from David De Gea recently, or in the World Cup for Spain. Any time I've ever seen David De Gea play for Spain, pretty much he's looked pretty gashtastic. I'll be honest with you. He's made mistakes and stuff, but that's just me when I've seen him play for Spain. I don't know, over the course of an international season, but I can tell you, as a United fan who watches him, he's in a class of his own when it comes to shot stopping. He's grown so much. When he was that little spindly lad who came over from Atletico when he was 18 years of age, so Alex brought him in, and he was getting bullied all over the place in the Premier League, couldn't deal with the physicality of the opposition strikers for a very long time. We all thought, oh my days, we spent 18 million on an absolute wimp. That's personally what I thought when we first signed him. Obviously, he does have a tremendous shot-stopping ability, but he's just grown so much. The improvement in his game over those 8 seasons at Manchester United is unbelievable. He truly is one of the best goalies in the world, in my opinion. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments section. Let me talk about the reason I make this video is because I just think it's a given that we should try and keep David De Gea at the club. I want to see what you guys think about it. And obviously there are actually rumours I just read on Metro, however reputable it is, that United have submitted a bid of 35 million for Onana. Onana, what's my name? Onana, what's his game? His game's football. He's a goalkeeper, plays for Ajax, player of the season. So, no, goalie of the season. So basically, I think it's just highlighted the fact that there is a problem at Manchester United with the goalkeeper position. But you know what? Say David De Gea did go this summer, which I don't think should happen, but say he did go and we've got to fill in the position for him. I don't think that is the position we should necessarily be looking to strengthen immediately. Sure, if a really good goalkeeper becomes available at a good price, fair enough to replace him. But we've got Sergio Romero. I believe Sergio Romero is a top goalkeeper. You're talking about somebody who's had nearly 100 appearances for Argentina here. I know they're not got great goalkeepers historically, but still, international football, playing in those teams with Aguero, Messi and all those guys, and they don't have the best defences, really, Marcus Rojo and shit like that. So he's getting a lot of action. And I think that means that he's going to be a good goalkeeper. Obviously, we've seen what he can do as a backup goalkeeper, or that run to the Europa League final with under Mourinho, or any of the times we've called on Sergio Romero. He has performed, he has delivered, he's barely put a foot wrong. Every goalkeeper makes mistakes here and there. But it just goes to show you the commitment of the lad, the concentration of the lad. When he does come in sporadically and he can perform, he doesn't make errors, he doesn't look out of place. He's a quality goalie, in my opinion. He may not be as good as David De Gea. He may not be as good as Hugo Lloris. Well, I don't really know. But he's a good goalkeeper. That's all I'm saying from what we've seen from him. So maybe you give him promotion and you basically say, let's see what you can do. And you get a younger goalkeeper in there just to fill in, or you look for a new goalkeeper in January if he's not looking fantastic. But all I'm saying is, it's not the key area that we need to even look about strengthening right now. Obviously, the back line is a calamity. Getting people out, moving people in those defensive positions is probably the priority of Manchester United right now. Of course, there are other priorities like getting a decent winger and maybe getting a few of the prima donnas out of the club who are paid way too much, a la Alexis Sanchez and a la Paul Pogba and maybe Lukaku. But obviously it depends. Our club's going to come in and pay any sort of money for them. They're on huge money. They've got no real motivation to leave because, let's face it, Alexis Sánchez might want out of United. He might want to go to Juventus. He might want to go to Inter, whatever it may be, these rumours that are being talked about right now. But they're not going to pay £450,000 a week for him. They can't. They can't actually do that. Certain clubs like Inter Milan, I don't think they can do that. So what are they going to pay? 250, and then we've got to pay 200,000. We're not going to do that to get him off our books. So what's he going to do? He's not going to leave for less money. He's on 450. He's on top whack, this lad. Why would he leave? He'd be foolish to leave from a financial perspective. He's got no real affinity for United. This is a job effectively to him. So why would he leave? Do we want him to just fester on the bench and collect that money? It's such a what a terrible situation this is. The club, the board, Woodward, Potato Head himself, they've got to really hang their heads in shame about this one, because we have really been bent over with the Alexis Sánchez situation. Not just the amount that we paid him signing him, the fact that he's not worked out now, and of course, every team has us by the short and curlies if they're in negotiations with us for him, because they know he wants out probably. They know we want him out. They know we're paying a ridiculous amount of money, which they're not going to match. So they can basically have him for nothing. I mean, oh my days. What a terrible situation, because it might get to the point where if these clubs are not prepared to match that amount, that we've just got to keep him. We've just got to keep him, let him fester away, or have a meagre contribution, which is obviously not great, because he's been shit this season, let's be honest. Just want to say, everybody tuning in right now live, I'm just trying to do a few more videos in the summer break this year. I don't want to get into any real transfer bollocks, but I do want to talk about some of the issues, like David De Gea's contract, and if there are rumours about other goalkeepers. Jasper Cillessen is another goalkeeper that has been touted as being a potential suitor for the replacement of David De Gea. I don't want to see David De Gea go. That's what this video is about. I'm going to get back to that as well, of course, but I just went on a tangent about Alexis Sánchez. It brings it out on me. It's a ranting situation anytime that guy's name is mentioned, because he is just a leech sucking the life out of this club, really. And maybe it's not his fault. It just hasn't worked out for him at the club. But either way, you've tried. You were shit. Move on. Leave amicably. It would be nice if he made some sort of a gesture and left for a bit less money, but it's not going to happen, is it? It's not like he's going to accept the wage drop. I'm sure if no deal is thrashed out where we will cover the rest of the remainder of the contract, then he'll just sit and collect his money and walk his dogs on the effing beach. So yeah, everybody tuning in, thanks for stopping by. Do us a favour, smash a like on this video. Get your thoughts and opinions in about anything I've discussed so far in the live stream. I'm going to stick around for about half an hour today, just talking with you guys, answering your comments here, seeing what you guys think about it, and of course, I'm sure some interesting stuff will come up. Shout out to Connor Watt, shout out to T3 Triple D, shout out to Alex Rudd, how you doing, mate? Shout out to BO and Adidas, the first 5 commenters on my live stream. You're a bunch of legends. Thanks for stopping by so early. We've got a comment here from Ed Peddle, who comments, has been one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Oh, with the has in all caps there. Fair enough there, pal. Well, you obviously think his talents have diminished. I disagree with that. How could they? It's not like he's 43 years of age. He's at the peak of his powers. We've seen what he's done over the last 8 seasons. He's been player of the season for the last 4 or 5. He is United's best player. Let's be honest now. Okay, he's not an outfield player, but he's United's best player. He's the Cristiano Ronaldo of goalkeepers. And if he's not the Ronaldo, he's the Messi. So it's like, who else do we go out there and get? There are good goalkeepers. Onana, I'm sure, is a very good goalkeeper. Onana, what's my name? Onana, what's my game? I can't help myself. Anyway, but Onana, there's potential suitors that we could bring in. I don't want to see that happen, is all I'm saying. You may not think he's the best goalkeeper in the world right now, but he's certainly in and amongst them. And one poor end to the season is not really anything for me to worry about too much. I think maybe there's just a bit hanging over him at the moment. There's added pressure. There was added pressure. The team's not performing in front of him. And also, he's made a couple of errors here and there. Heaps extra added pressure on. He doesn't know what's going to happen come the end of the season, whether or not his agent or he's going to try and fashion a move away from the club. Will he want to go back to Spain? You can't blame the lad. It's not like United are winning accolades left, right and centre at the moment. We're not even in the Champions League. So he is a top goalkeeper who does obviously deserve to be playing in that competition. That's the fact of the matter of it. So he's one of the best players that we've got. Like I say, the best player. He's the best player at Manchester United at the moment. He's not an outfield player, but he's the best player we've got, because in terms of world-class positions, who we've got in each position, are they anywhere near world-class? Most of them are not. I mean, the funny thing is, you can argue that people like Paul Pogba is, but just not for United for some reason. Yeah, David De Gea is obviously in a world of his own when it comes to goalkeepers. So, yeah, I mean, I just think he still is great. He will be great. A bad end to the season is not going to halt his career. He's not just going to melt like Joe Hart did. He is going to continue to be that quality goalkeeper, whether it's for us or whether it's for someone else. And I do hope it's for us. We've got a super chat here from Alex Rincon. Thanks for stopping by here and getting involved, Alex. He comments, I don't think we should buy another keeper, cash in and promote Dean Henderson or Romero. I want players that want to be here regardless of money. Man, you make a very good point there. You know, we don't want to, if we are going to sell David De Gea, I don't want to sell David De Gea, but I'm just saying, you know, if you don't think we should cash in if David De Gea does go, I agree with you. I think give Romero a chance at the very least, because he has earned that, I think, with his performances over the last few years. He's been basically the best substitute goalkeeper you could hope for. Just always performing whenever called upon. Looks dependable. Vastly experienced when it comes to international football as well, which only can help in European competition and things like that. So I think, yeah, you know, give him a shot. It's not the most important thing right now. It could backfire. He could melt and turn into Massimo Taibi overnight, but I don't think he would, because he does look very, very solid. Is he as good as De Gea and people like Manuel Neuer? I mean, probably not. But let's just see what he could do. I don't think it's the major problem area at United right now, and it just adds extra money. It adds the need to go out there and bring somebody in, and maybe there's a lot of change going to be happening at United this summer, hopefully. Maybe if we could just cap that amount of change at a reasonable amount, it would actually make a lot more sense. But thank you very much for your comment there, Alex. Much appreciated. Yeah, Dean Henderson or Romero, you know, just promote some players there. It's not the key area that we need to focus on right now, even if De Gea did leave. But I would like to keep De Gea. The Music Fiend, how's it going? Says dump De Gea. I mean, there are a lot of people talking about not wanting David De Gea at the football club right now. They don't want him to pay that sort of money and bend the club over a barrel for that amount of money. And right now is the only time that we could really cash in and get significant money for him. You're talking about a real big name player here, but everyone knows he's only got a year on his contract, so it's not like we're going to get 120 million for him, I don't think, because he's got a year left. But if a big club over in Spain did want to come in for him, then I think it could be realistic to get something like 60 to 80 million pounds for him, which for a goalie, you know, it's a huge amount of money, especially with a goalie with only 1 year left on his contract, who is wanting 400k a week. But like I said earlier, who are you going to sign? Who's going to win you more points of a season across the course of a season? Forget these last few weeks, but look at the old course of the season and all the seasons before it. The lad's worth 15 points on his own. So it seems to me it's the best idea to keep him. But I see what you're saying about dumping him. I mean, goalkeeper is not really traditionally the position that people think is the most important, do they? They think goal scorers and defenders and, you know, outfield players in general. But the goalkeeper's usually that little fat dumpy kid that plays in goal, you know, like me. When I was a young lad, I was a goalkeeper, right? Except I was tall and dumpy or whatever. Anyway, but I was a fucking cat between those sticks. But anyway, yeah, so, but it is actually a really important position. You know, you look back to when United have been successful, really successful, we've had world-class goalkeepers. We had Peter Schmeichel, who was just the Great Dane. Denmark won the European Championships in 1992 with him. I mean, come on. I know they had Laudrup and shit like that, but come on. That's largely down to having an effing amazing goalkeeper who just performed absolutely out of this world. And of course at United, so successful, hugely influential, you know, huge moments. FA Cup semi-final 99, saved the penalty at the end of the game. You know, just huge moments, of course. From Peter Schmeichel. And the same with Edwin van der Sar. If you look in when his Champions League contribution, saving that final penalty against Chelsea, and just his awesomeness when he was at Manchester United. Obviously, we should have got him earlier. Went to Fulham from Juve. I mean, what the hell? But we should have got him earlier on because we were trying melts like Barthez and stuff like that. Who didn't work at United, even though he was a really good goalie. Once pissed on a pitch. Did you know that? You can actually go and watch. No, don't watch that. But anyway. Yeah, so don't know where that came from, but basically it's an important position. That's what I was trying to say. You know, it is a really key area for a football team. The goalie, it can save you so many points of a season. He's that type of player. I can understand not wanting him if he's going to be paid a huge amount of money, because I do think United right now is a club that needs to cap our wage problem. We've got to get rid of the big names off our books, a la Lukaku, a la Pogba and Sanchez, get them gone. Cash in on them, generate some transfer funds, get the actual wages off the books, because that's a huge chunk of money going out of the club every single month, and go and reinvest it in a bunch more players, young, hungry, talented players, and pay them, you know, a reasonable amount. That is what I think should happen at United right now. So I can understand wanting to get rid of him. Breslin123, how's it going? Comments and says, he has been our best player. Can't blame him if he leaves. Thought he was going to leave back in 2015, so guess we've had him longer than expected. Yeah, that's a very good point. You know, he could have left by his, by rights long ago. One of the best goalkeepers in the world in an underperforming Manchester United side. Not doing it, not looking great. A lot of uncertainty about our future, but he's stuck with us. And okay, may have been paid very, very well for his services, but he does deserve that. United are going out there and signing melts like Sanchez on 500k a week. He definitely deserves what he gets. And he's been a huge player for United. I think we have had him longer than I expected. I always expected him to want to go back to Spain, especially if United were underperforming. I think he's shown a lot of commitment and a lot of loyalty to stay at United and do what he's done for the last few seasons, because he didn't really need to. He could have gone and played in Spain and won trophies. They were after him every single transfer window, it seemed, Barcelona. So I think he could have gone back there. Well, even Atletico Madrid and teams like that where he came from, I'm sure, would be an option if they were prepared to pay for him. Why wouldn't he want to go back there? That's where he's from. So, I wouldn't blame him if he wanted to leave. But the fact is, he has stayed with us. He has showed loyalty. He has showed commitment. And he has been a great goalkeeper for us. He's been our best player for the last 5 years. He's been at United for 8 seasons. He's one of our experienced players. He's one of the only experienced players at United that we actually want to keep. Do you know what I mean? Everyone else, like, Young, do one. Small Dom, do one. Phil Jones, do, all the guys that have been here for any significant amount of time. But David De Gea has been, and we want to keep him. I think that's important to keep that sort of little bit of lifeblood of Manchester United there. One of the most experienced United players on the side. Let's keep that lad. That's all I'm saying anyway. Rincon says, De Gea has tried to leave 3 times. If he wants to leave, I'm done dealing with it. Well, fair enough. I mean, players do often get their heads turned. Often it's the agents. They're looking to fashion moves for themselves to make money. Often it's, the player is looking for greener pastures. He thinks maybe I can win more elsewhere. Maybe I can, it's not always for money reasons. But I do think David De Gea has shown loyalty to the club, even though he has wanted to leave a couple of times. I mean, you always remember that situation with Alex Ferguson where Wayne Rooney was basically angling for a move away, wasn't he? And United wanted to keep him. We needed him at that time. Obviously, Ronaldo had gone. He knew that. He had us bent over a barrel. We ended up paying him a huge amount of money at the time. But we got Wayne Rooney to stay. And it wasn't at the peak of his powers. After that, it sort of started to diminish a little bit. But I always remember that being, I was happy at the time that we kept Wayne Rooney because he was a big player for us. But I always remember thinking, crikey almighty, he's on a huge amount of money here at the end when he's not performing. So you've got to have a fine balance there. But if he's angling for a move away, if he's serious about leaving, he will go. But if United are prepared to pay him like maybe a Barca would, or maybe not Barca, but another team would, then what are we going to do? Do we take the risk and give it to Romero, or do we keep one of the best goalkeepers in the world but pay him a significant amount of money? If you're getting rid of Sanchez and you're getting rid of Pogba, that's saving you, the best part of £700,000-800,000 a week. So does giving De Gea an extra 100k a week or whatever it may be really make that much of an impact in the wage bill? I don't know. I don't think it does. I think you've got to reward loyalty. You've got to reward performances. Maybe lately he's not been great, but he's had all this hanging over him. I think he would stay at United if we made him basically one of the highest paid goalies in the world. And does he not deserve to be the highest paid goalkeeper in the world, or one of the highest paid goalkeepers in the world, especially when he is clearly one of the best goalies and is not playing for one of the top sides, winning trophies and maybe being content in what he's achieving in terms of his footballing career? I think you can't blame him for wanting to be paid that amount of money. It's a disgrace, man. It's a huge amount of money that we're even talking. It's a disgrace we even talk about that figure associated with footballers. But that's the way it is. And does he not deserve to be paid, like the best goalkeeper in the world? I think he does. But there you go. I understand what you're saying, Rincon. Funnily enough, I know it is a huge loss if we did leave him. But say Romero came in and did a good job this season. Like I say, we may lose 15 points a season from not having David De Gea in goal. But if you can go out there, strengthen the rest of the side, Romero has a good season, shows that he is a top goalie, then guess what? Maybe you don't lose that many. Maybe you actually gain some if you do really well in the transfer window and the team performs. So, like I say, it's not the hugest loss if he did go, and also it would free up some money and that kind of thing. But I would like to see him, but I respect your stance on that one, mate. Calamity Jones, how's it going, Calamity? Comments. Hey, losing David De Gea would be a real shame, but he wasn't given a decent defence to work with. I'm not surprised he wants to leave. Man, you bring up a great point, which I've neglected to talk about, which is United's defence is an absolute shit show, isn't it? There are shambles out there. The performances this season have been laughable, especially towards the end of the season. I mean, I hope we do get that Longstaff lad. I know nothing about him, really, other than he's played a bit under Rafa Benitez this season, and looked decent. But I hope we do get him, because that's what we need. Someone with a long staff, not this small dong, not Chris Smalldong. We don't need him at the club anymore. Not good enough. Phil Jones, he's got no bones. Ashley Young, he's clunge. He's not good enough. He's had plenty of time at the club. He's 33 years of age. Why is he still here? Move him on. So... I agree with you. The defence has really not helped David De Gea out this season. Not at all. It made it very difficult for him. It cannot be great for a goalkeeper. I mean, in one regard, that's sort of how you show that you're the best goalkeeper in the world, is when you're in a team that is not the best team. So you're constantly getting peppered. We saw that in that Tottenham game. You remember that Tottenham game this season where somehow we miraculously won it? And Tottenham were all over us, man, and they had about 100 shots, and David De Gea saved them all. They were mostly out, but he was saving them with his feet. It's like all over the gaff. It was incredible. So... that shows how good of a goalkeeper he is, but you don't want that week in, week out. You don't want your defence to be a bunch of melters. They're going to make errors, and they're going to invite pressure onto them, and you're going to be busy. You don't want that, especially when you're playing teams like Cardiff and stuff. So you don't want that if you're David De Gea. So I don't blame him feeling this added pressure and maybe having a dodgy performance here and there. We have got a poor defence. If we had a great defence in front of him, he'd probably show still that he's the best goalkeeper in the world. He wouldn't be called upon as much. He'd be happier. We'd be winning things. Defence is very, very important. The most important. Most great teams are built from the back. Great comment there. Thank you very much for getting involved. Kieran Morgan says, can't really blame him. I know it depends. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. If he does go, it'll be a huge loss. But will it? Let's see what Romero can do, or maybe a potential signing like Onana or Silerson. But I don't want to see us go out there and sign a goalkeeper right now. I say give the opportunity to Romero. Paul Hamilton, how's it going? He says, be gone. He obviously doesn't want David De Gea to remain at the club. There you go. Alex Rudd, Spanish team doesn't want him. Like I said earlier on the video, most times I've seen David De Gea play for Spain, he's really not very good. Really not very good. I don't know if people in Spain have a lower regard of his abilities than we do over here in England, because of course I've seen all the pundits on TV at times absolutely glow about David De Gea after performances out there on the pitch. And we've had a bit of criticism recently. He's not done well recently, but over the course of the last 5 seasons, I think most people would say that he was the best goalkeeper in the world based on the punditry in and around the Premier League. So it's funny that over in Spain, maybe he doesn't get that same reputation, and maybe rightfully so. I haven't really seen every single performance he's put in a Spain shirt. So, but certainly from what I've seen, he looks absolutely quality. Thank you very much for your comment, matey. Clam J says, hi there. Do you think Romero can hold the reins, or do you think his gloves slip up? Oh, almost read it out there, pal. You almost got me, but you didn't, you see? I very nearly did, but I'll answer your first bit. Do you think Romero can hold the reins? I do think he can. We've seen that he can. Anytime he's been brought in to cover David De Gea or have a run in the side, give De Gea the night off, like the Europa League final under Jose Mourinho, or any time this season when we've seen him, he looks good. He looks like a real solid goalie. And like I say, he has that big experience playing for Argentina as well. He's obviously content being the backup for Manchester United, but I'm sure he would relish the opportunity of playing for United. And when you see that when he puts in performances, it's not like he comes in, looks half-assed and half-hearted. I got those mixed up, but looks like he can't be asked and makes mistakes and stuff like that. No, he comes in and he performs and he looks really reliable. So I think if he was called upon, he could do a good job. He could hold down the fort, and he could be a good goalkeeper for United. We haven't seen maybe enough of him, but we have actually seen a fair bit of him, and what we have seen is pretty damn good. And like I said, we don't want to go out there and sign prima donnas or sign people who don't know the Premier League and gamble and increase our wage bill and take another gamble on a big marquee name signing goalkeeper. I think what we could do is just give it to him. He would probably relish it, and you might see a player of the season performance out of him. That's all I'm saying, because he's got that opportunity now at a huge club like United. He's got something to prove, get his teeth stuck into it. And you never know, he could be great for us. I mean, I'm not saying he is the best goalie in the world, but certainly there are goalkeepers, a la like Kasper Schmeichel, for instance, that can have these incredible seasons. I think Schmeichel's a great goalkeeper, but he's not as good as his dad. He's not one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He's up there, but he's not one of the best goalies in the world. But you saw that season when Leicester were just incredible, how pivotal he was as well. So you can just have goalkeepers perform for one-off season. And I think giving him an opportunity might allow him to do that and show what he's made of. Evil before comments, sell him. He clearly doesn't want to stay. Yeah, I mean, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's thought, well, I've gave my all to United. I've really tried. We're just not good enough. The team's not good enough. It's a huge rebuild job. It's going to take us years to get back to where we need to be. I'm not getting any younger. I want to go and win some things. I want to be a top quality player. I want to go down in the annals and history of football as David De Gea, the great freaking Spanish cat. And he can only really do that if he goes and wins a lot more trophies, goes and wins Champions League, So I can't really blame him. He's been a great player for us. He really, really has been. I hope we keep him. If he does go, then I understand what you're saying. Breslin says, I like Romero. He's consistent. Yeah, when you see him, whenever he's come in, done a good job for us. He's a really good goalkeeper from what we've seen. So Ray McGendy, how's it going? Comments, no way I believe De Gea is a little bit frustrated. I really love David. He's been fantastic for a couple of years for us. Absolutely. 8 years he's been at the club, and certainly in the last few seasons, he has been our best player in a really struggling United side. Lee Furley says, piss myself laughing. You've seen how many goals we've shipped this season with one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Unless we get some new centre-backs, we're screwed. Yeah, man. I mean, like the previous comment earlier, it's so true. The defence is hugely important. How terrible must it be for David De Gea knowing you're just going to be peppered throughout the game, regardless of who you're playing, because the defence in front of you is an absolute bunch of melt jobs, and the midfield too. Really, you just know you're going into big games expecting action. It adds extra pressure, and of course, a United goalkeeper, really, when you're playing the lesser teams, they shouldn't be getting peppered. They should just be having to do the occasional odd thing, basically. And it's just not like that, really, anymore. We just get battered most of the time. Evil Before says, Ollie should play Romero more this season and rest David. Well, I think you're right. This season he should have done that, because there was a point where David De Gea deserved to be dropped based on performances, based on confidence, lack of confidence, maybe this contract stuff hanging over him, and it was showing out there in his performances on the pitch, and he was making errors, and he made a few consistent errors in a row. We're talking 4 or 5 games. What I would have done, and I agree with you, is played Sergio Romero, because he deserved the opportunity. It's not like he wasn't doing a good job when called upon. And also David De Gea just needed a break, and also just a mental break, and also try and build up his confidence, try and find out the root problem of it. It probably is all this contract stuff. It probably is the fact the team are a bunch of melt jobs in front of him, the defence is shocking and all that sort of stuff. Where are we really going is what he's thinking. Are we going to win the Champions League in the next few years? I don't know. I mean, let's be real. Unless we do a miraculous turnaround in the transfer market and everything goes our way the next season, it's going to be very difficult for us to do that based on how far away we are off of the likes of Liverpool, off the likes of City, man. Oh. Comment here from AK. Comments, Young, Jones, Darmian, Valencia, Rojo, Matic, Mata, Lukaku, Sanchez, out now. Well, really, any of those players, if they were to leave Manchester United this summer, it wouldn't really bother me too much. I mean, I am a fan of Juan Mata. I think he's a really good player, but I understand he's not been performing for United recently, and also maybe he's just not the right player for how Solskjaer wants to play, because I haven't seen Solskjaer use Juan Mata like I like Juan Mata to be used, which is basically like the sort of false 9 or a number 10 in behind a striker, because he's I know that sounds mental, but anytime I've seen him play there, he is just pulling all sorts of strings. His vision, his dribbling ability is very, very good, and he does cause all sorts of problems. He's a great free kick taker. That's another thing that United are lacking somewhat of. But yeah, any of those players, basically, I'd like to see most of them go. I'd actually like to see all of them go, apart from maybe Mata, but that's just my personal opinion. And all of them should go. You've absolutely highlighted all the players that should go, that are not good enough. Those are the players that are not good enough. And Sanchez and Valencia's been great, but he's leaving anyway. Great player for the club over the years. And then we do need to get rid of the big money players off of our books. You mentioned Lukaku and Sanchez there as well, actually. So, yeah, and Matic is just a big Frankenstein's monster. He's a Jose Mourinho player. Lukaku and Matic, they're Jose Mourinho players. They're not really United players. So I wouldn't be bothered losing any of those guys. Alex Rudd says United will have to spend City money to compete next year for the title. Yeah, and that's my fear, is that we do go out there and just sign big-named money signings like Dybala and Koulibaly and take a chance on these players who've never played in the Premier League and pay them $300,000-400,000 a week and pay a huge amount of money for them. I don't want to see United do that, because I just think that we're setting ourselves up for a bit more pressure and a fall, to be honest. You know, if we just do it the right way, build this club back to where it should be, okay, we're going to have to spend some money. But I don't want to see us going out there and spending £80 million on a player, for instance. I want to see us make some real shrewd signings. I mean, there's a couple of rumours at the moment going around. That's all they really are. I don't know the basis of them, but apparently we've contacted Fulham about Ryan Sessegnon, 19-year-old lad. Looked good, obviously relegated with Fulham, but performed reasonably well. Got about 6 assists, scored a couple of goals this season. Played quite versatile all over the place. And, you know, young homegrown talent. So there's one that could maybe be a good option, because he's a player that's young. He's a player that's shown some ability. He's a player that could get better. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying for right now, but as sort of a rotation player to improve him over the next couple of years, he could go on to be a good player. So he's maybe a good one. And he's not going to cost you a lot of money from a relegated side who with only a year on his contract left as well. So I don't think that's going to cost a lot of money. Somebody like that. And I'm not blown away by... Don't get me wrong. I'm not like going, who do I want? Dybala, Koulibaly or Ryan Sessegnon. Of course, he's not there now, but he's just a young sort of player who might be hungry, who might be able to perform in the Premier League, who will only get better, who won't cost a lot of money and be on a lot of money, and who will relish the opportunity to play at Manchester United. And that's what you need right now. You need characters. You need people who have got that bottle and battle in them. And I think maybe, you know, just going for those type of players would help, rather than going and signing players on big money for spending 300 million in the transfer window just on transfer fees would be crazy for United right now, I think. Everybody tuning in here, thanks for stopping by on the channel. I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes, but I'll stick around for a little while. Do us a favour, smash a cheeky little like on this video if you are in here. Get your final thoughts and opinions in the commento section, and we will talk about them and dissect them for the final few minutes before I go. My mouth is ridiculously dry, so I can't talk too much longer, and my drink's gone now. Ray says De Gea's abilities can't be compared to Onana. I know De Gea is surely a much more seasoned, much more experienced goalkeeper, especially in terms of Premier League football. That lad obviously is a good goalkeeper, but he's playing over there in the Eredivisie. It's a good league. They've got good teams, but it's not a great league. It's not got the calibre of attacking opposition that the Premier League has nowhere near. So would he come in and be able to just take to it like a duck to water? I don't know if he would be. Oh, nah, what's my name? Oh, nah, what's my game? Ed says, what do you think about the homegrown kids being brought in? Think this team needs a new core with a decent captain? Yeah, like I was saying, we should give it to hungry young lads at the moment. I'd much rather see us do that and drop off for the next couple of years, but come back with a vengeance. Or rather than just go out there, spend big, and then maybe flop and fail all over the place. And there's way more added pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer if he goes out there and gets these huge big name players coming in there. Because he's going to have all these egos to manage and that sort of stuff. I don't think it's a good look for this United side right now. We need to do it sensibly. We could implode as a football club if we just go out there and spend huge money. It doesn't always work for you. I remember Middlesbrough, man. Freaking Middlesbrough. Ravanelli and Juninho and all these nutters that they signed for huge amounts of money back in the day. We're a Middlesbrough now. I know United and Middlesbrough just shouldn't even be compared in the same sentence as football clubs. But still, the point I'm trying to make is buying money, spending huge money doesn't guarantee you quality. It doesn't guarantee you a motivated player out there. Just look at Paul Pogba. The lad's head drops all the time. He might be disappointed and disillusioned with the players around him, but come on, show a bit more bottle, lad. Drag this team forward. He doesn't do it. He can't do it for us. So, you know, we need to get players that can. Get players with a bit of fight and bottle in them. Alex Rudd says, Oblak, yeah, another good goalkeeper could be a possibility, but these are big names on big money. Maximilian7, how's it going? Comments, don't think Romero has ever let us down. I would argue De Gea has had bigger clangers for us than Sergio. Yeah, absolutely. But David De Gea has played way more games for the club, you have to remember. But yeah, Sergio Romero, I can barely remember a clanger from the lad. And he's being used sporadically, which is even more impressive, really, from a form point of view, to just be able to come in and instantly perform and slot in and just look comfortable. It's quite an achievement, really. So I think he's a very good goalkeeper, no doubt about it. And De Gea has made a lot of clangers for us recently. Ed says, keep De Gea and risk losing him on a free. Needs a contract sorting out. I don't think goalkeeper's that important for us at the moment. Get Romero in. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, man. Like, Romero could come in. He has been good for us. We've seen what he can do. He's a really good player. Hugely experienced all round, really. And whenever called upon, looked really, really good for us. So I wouldn't feel too bad about him going in there. I really wouldn't. I just think, David De Gea is the next step up. He is the Rolls Royce. He is the Cristiano Ronaldo of goalkeepers. So we should be trying to do everything we can to keep hold of him because he is a great player. And you can justify giving him a lot of money when he's not having stuff to challenge for. He's not picking up trophies. You've got to respect the fact that you would just be giving him money to not just take the money, but to stay at United and maybe hinder his career and the amount of success that he will have. Let's be honest, United's a rebuild job. For the next couple of years, we're way off. So David De Gea right now, does he want to go elsewhere and win stuff? That's the main thing. Or can we satisfy him financially to the point where he's happy and he will perform to 100% of his abilities? From what we've seen from him, he does perform for Manchester United. He does have that motivation. He's not just somebody that's going to not turn up in a game. He's always committed. I know the last part of the season was not good from him, but other than that, throughout the 8 years, he's always looked good. Thanks to everybody who is tuning in right now. Lot of great comments coming through. Really enjoying this chat. I'm going to stick around for a couple of minutes more. I keep adding a couple of minutes on, but it's you guys, man. You're making it hard for me to go with your comments. Comment here from Beckon says, sign Delight. Give him the number 7. That should be done. Number 7. But Delight is obviously a player who's young, who looks great. He's linked to Barcelona at the moment. Fantastic season he's had for Ajax. Really the sort of player United should be looking to sign, definitely. But a player, even though it's from Ajax, you're not going to get a player from Ajax for 30 million, that quality anymore. You're just not. You're going to have to pay big money for somebody like Delight. Maybe it's worth doing in that case because he does look really, really good. He does look hungry. He does look like a leader. I really like what I've seen from him. Really young talent. So fair play to you. I like what you've commented there, mate. Alex Rudd says De Gea looks like he is not motivated. Yeah, the last few weeks there's something wrong with him mentally. Don't know what it is. Is he just unhappy at the club? Is it contract talks? The fact that we've not given him an extension. I mean, it does hang over a player. You've got players like Marcus Rashford and De Gea with only a 1-year deal left. What's Rashford thinking now? Is he thinking, should I go elsewhere? Maybe get more football. Should I go elsewhere where the pressure's less? I mean, I'm pretty sure Rashford wants to stay at United, but of course we've got to get it. We've got to get the deals done. Same with De Gea. We shouldn't be getting to the situation where we just got a year left on these people's contract. Woodward, Potato Head. Oh my days, he's an absolute melt job, isn't he? The guy's a gremlin up there, just messing up all the wires of Manchester United. Thank you very much for your comment there, Alex Rudd, your super chat. Much appreciated. We've got a super chat from Son Goku, Ian97. Boom Chakalaka, how's it going? He says, Pig, thought I'd contribute because you're my fave, with a love heart. Thank you very much there, Son Goku, Ian97. Very much appreciate it. I always comment on your picture when you come in here, but it's hard not to. That's a sick hairdo you've got there. You look like a Street Fighter character, mate. It's awesome. Thank you very much for your super chat there. Much appreciated. Right, guys. I'm pretty much going to wrap this one up, but quickly get a comment here at the end here if you want to. Red Jedi says, we can't pay De Gea 400 a week. That's a joke for a goalie. I know, but is it a joke for a goalkeeper who's the best goalie in the world? Should the best goalie in the world not be paid like the best goalie in the world? Should he not be paid for the contribution he has to United? Should he not be paid more than Alexis or nearly as much as Alexis Sánchez was? I mean, I know it's crazy. It's a crazy amount of money. Football's gone crazy. But if you're looking at added value, the contribution, what he actually adds to the club, problem is, I do think he will go. I do think he will go, whether it's the end of the contract, which would be a calamity to let him go on a free, or this summer. I personally think he will go because I don't think we are going to pay him that sort of money. I think he can go get huge money elsewhere and win things in a club in Spain where he's from and it's nice weather. I think he could probably do that. So there you go. Neil Duffin, how's it going? Shout out to you, mate. Vince Chapman, let's read Neil's comment, actually. Dean Henderson had 23 clean sheets. We're rebuilding. Why not him? De Gea sell. His recent work has been awful. I'd take the money, otherwise you'll have Sanchez part 2. Great point. What if we give David De Gea the contract he wants, 400k a week, and then he just absolutely melts like he has the last few weeks? What would happen then? I mean, that would be a disgrace, wouldn't it? Because nobody could come in and would even want to come in and take him off our hands. But at the same time, what we've seen from him is amazing over the years. I think he's always been committed to United. I don't think he'd just take the money and just not perform and do an Alexis Sánchez. I really don't. Dean Henderson, but not got the experience in the Premier League there or at a high level. And right now, I think Sergio Romero maybe would be a better shout. But yeah, promote him, obviously. Make him deputy if De Gea was to leave. Vince Chapman says, does anyone else think the Glazers look like a bag of ball bags? Yes, I do actually. Yeah, I agree with you. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here on this live stream, but much love to everybody who's tuned in. You're a bunch of legends. Do us a favour, smash a cheeky little like on this video. If you're new to the live stream, new to the channel, make sure you smash the heck out of that subscribe button. Make sure you stick around for future upcoming videos. I'm going to try and do more content this summer. Usually go AWOL in the summer. But I'm going to try and do more content this summer regarding Manchester United and some of the major transfer news that maybe has got some foundations I will go into. But I don't just going to want to turn this into a freaking clickbait channel. Obviously, I do want to just talk about the key issues that are on my mind at the time. I do want to talk about the real solid transfer movements of Manchester United. When there's real official news announced, and I will try to keep you guys up to date with it. But anyway, thanks very much for tuning into the channel today. You're a bunch of legends. I'll see you soon. You can follow me on social media at Mr. Flying Pig HD on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, if you want to check out my Patreon, the link's in the description below. Shout out to my new patron, Matt Norton. You're a legend. Thanks very much, and everybody else who usually goes on there. I'm going to start shouting all of you guys out at the end of the video because it is much appreciated. You guys support me like that. Gungshi's just popped here up at the end of the channel here. Missed me again, he says. How's it going? Yes, you have, Gungshi. You've certainly missed me one more time. I've been on here chatting pure COD for about 46 minutes now. But I am going to wrap this up and go. You can just get a quick question in right now if you want, but because you're such a freaking supporter of the channel. But everybody else, thanks so much for stopping by on the channel today. It's cool that you guys have tuned in and made your thoughts and opinions known. I would say that it's probably a 50-50 split. From the video, I have seen, most of you commenting saying that Manchester United should get rid of David De Gea. Maybe half of you saying that and half of you saying that he's too good to go. So it's quite interesting. We seem to be split down the middle. Gungshi says, next time, mate. Well, you can't come up with a comment now, buddy. I'm not talking about super chatting. Nobody, at the end of the video, just mean get your freaking question in, lad. Anyway, if you're not going to, then I'll just wrap it up. But he says, Ray McGundy says, which club will he go to? Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, Barcelona sort of tried to fill that position last summer. I don't know. Atletico Madrid. Who knows? Juventus. Who actually knows? Like, I don't really know where he would go. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you so much for stopping by on the channel. Sorry that you missed the stream, Gungshi. Go back and watch it from the start, as can anybody else who has missed it, obviously. Alex Rudd, thank you so much for getting in here and moderating as per usual. I didn't see any racial people in here, so that's good. Racist people, should I say. Not racial people, racist people. Didn't see any racist people in here. So that was good. But thank you very much for moderating, Alex Rudd. Neil Duffin, shout out to you. Long live the pig. Long live you, Neil Duffin. You're a bunch of legends. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up now. I've been waffling on for a couple of minutes, but thanks for stopping by. Those are my thoughts on David De Gea. I think we should try and keep him because I do think he's a class apart, but I understand why you guys would not want to. It seems to be a 50-50 split. If I've not answered your comments today, I have tried to get your thoughts and opinions in the comment section after this video has been published. Boomchenka! I'm going to go now. Thanks for stopping by. I'll keep you up to date with anything Manchester United that has got any basis.